On this new episode, we are going to be taking a look at something different. Yep, if you didn't guess by the thumbnail and the title, who put Bella in the wych elm? Who put Bella in the wych elm? Is graffiti which first appeared in 1944 following the 1943 discovery of a skeletonized remains of a woman by 4 children inside a wych elm. Now, the body was found in Hagley Wood in Hagley, if you didn't guess that. Now, Hagley is located in Worcestershire, England. Now, the victim, who was found in the tree, was murdered approximately around 1941, but the remains are unidentified and her current location of the skeleton and the autopsy report is unknown. On the 18th of April 1943, 4 local boys were looking for bird nestings in Hagley Wood when they came across a large wych tree. Thinking the location to be a particularly good place to hunt for birds' nests, one of the boys attempted to climb the tree to investigate. As he climbed, he glanced down into the hollow trunk and discovered a skull. At first he believed it to be that of an animal, but after seeing human hair and teeth, he then realised he had found a human skull. As they were on the land illegally, he put the skull back and all 4 boys returned home without mentioning their discovery to anybody. However, on returning home, the youngest of the boys felt uneasy about what he had witnessed and decided to report his find to his parents. Now, when the police checked the trunk of the tree, they found an almost complete skeleton with a shoe, a gold ring, and some fragments of clothing. The skull was very valuable evidence, and in that it still had some tufts of hair and clear dental pattern, despite having some missing teeth. After further investigation, the remains of a hand were found some distance from the tree. The body was sent for forensic examination by Professor James Webster. He quickly established that it was that of a female who had died at least 18 months ago, placing the death in or before October of 1941. Webster also discovered a section of taffeta in her mouth, suggesting she had died of suffocation. From the measurement of the trunk in which the body had been discovered, he also deduced that she must have been placed there, in quoting, still warm, after the killing, as she could not have fitted once rigor mortis had taken hold. Police could tell from the items found with the body what the woman had looked like, but with so many people reported missing during the war, records were too vast for the proper identification. They cross-referenced the details they had with reports of missing people throughout the region, but none of them seemed to match up to the evidence. In addition, they contacted dentists all over the country since the dentistry was quite distinctive. And in 1944, a graffiti message related to the mystery appeared on a wall in Upper Dean Street in Birmingham, reading, "Who put Bella down the wych elm?" This led investigators down several new leads, tracing who Bella could have been. Other messages in the same handwriting had appeared as well. Now, the graffiti had randomly appeared on Hagley Obelisk, near where the woman's body was discovered. Now, this asks a slightly modified version of who put Bella in the wych elm. In a Radio 4 programme first broadcast in about August of 2014, Steve Punt suggested 2 possible victims. One possible victim was reported to the police in 1944 by a Birmingham prostitute. In the report, she stated that another prostitute called Bella who had worked on Hagley Road, had disappeared about 3 years previously. The name Bella or Lou Bella suggested the graffiti artist was probably aware of the identity of the victim or of the killer. A second possibility came from a statement made to the police in about 1953 by Una Mossap, in which she said that her ex-husband Jack Mossap had confessed to her family members that he and a Dutchman called Van Rolt had put the woman in the tree. Mossap and Van Rolt met for a drink at the local pub in Hagley. Later that night, Mossap said the woman had become drunk and passed out while they were driving. The men then put her in a hollow tree in the woods in hope that in the morning she would wake up and be frightened and made to see the error of her ways. Jack Mossap was confined to Stafford Mental Hospital because he had recurring dreams and nightmares, well, I think they're both the same thing, of the woman staring at him from the tree. Yeah, that'd drive me insane too. He died in the hospital before the body in the wych elm was found. Now, the likelihood of this being correct is questioned because Una Mossap did not come forward with the information until more than 10 years after her ex-husband's death. Another theory comes from an MI5 declassified file about Joseph Jacobs, the last man to be put to death in the Tower of London, a German spy. So apparently he parachuted into Cambridgeshire in 1941 but broke his leg when landing and was soon arrested by the Home Guard. On his person was found a photo of his lover, who happened to be a German singer and actress called Clara. Now, Jacobs said that she was being trained as a spy and was sent into England after him. However, there was no evidence that Clara was parachuted into England, and several witnesses described that Clara was around 6 foot tall, and while Bella was only 5 foot. And in September 2016, it was determined that Clara had actually died in Berlin on the 16th of December 1942. All these were great ideas and great theories. I'm pretty sure we're not going to find out what happened, but I want to ask a question. Who the f*** put Bella in the wych elm?